Welcome back everyone, and in this lecture I'm gonna quickly show you a couple of more options that you can set while you are working on your CentOS operating system. And one of them is firewalling. Just like in case of Ubuntu, we had seen that we had to use the command Ubuntu firewall UFW, if you remember and recall that. But in case of CentOS, we have this nice interface. If you come on to Sundry, and in Sundry we have this option which is firewall. So if you click on this one, it gives us this nice representation where you can do the configuration either in a runtime or you can make it permanent, and you can also select the zones or if you want to select the services. So let's click on zone, and these are the public zones, which means that the interfaces, if we have assigned an interface to the public interface, which in this case at the moment is the interface that we have our IP address configured that we had seen earlier, this EMP0S3 interface. Now if I come on to services and I want to allow that certain type of services should be able to access this CentOS operating system, like if I bring it down, let me just show you this thing. If you can recall from Ubuntu, we had to run SSH, secure shell daemon. Remember that? We had to run it separately so that we can access the device remotely. But in case of CentOS, that service is automatically, not only that it is automatically running on CentOS, but it is also enabled in the firewall so that we can access this CentOS machine using terminal from outside. So let's try to do that. This is the IP address of CentOS machine 192.168.1.5 that was allocated through DHCP. Now if I want to SSH this one, I need to simply type in SSH and then the IP address, which is 192.168.1.5, and we see that we are able to access it. I just need to type in the username and the password, and we will be able to log into the machine. So just hang in for a while, it is taking a bit longer. It is the CentOS operating system is still processing, as remember that it's a virtualized environment, so sometimes things do tend to take time. Now when password prompt comes up, I can type in the password, and now I'm in the CentOS operating system. So just wanted to show you this thing. And let's coming back to the firewall configuration. Let's say let me just bring it one more time. You see at the moment CentOS firewall is not blocking ICMP requests. This is the terminal, this one over here that I'm dragging. This is the host OS, which is Ubuntu operating system. This is that terminal, and I am doing a ping to the guest operating system, which is CentOS at the moment, and firewall is not blocking this ping request. So I want that firewall should block it. How can I do that? If I come on to firewall and I come on to ICMP filter and select these, you can select all of them if you want to, but try to select this one, echo request. This is the technical name for the ping packet. Now once that is done, since it is being applied in runtime, if I break this sequence of ping, because it was already continuous, so connection state was being maintained by the firewall. Now if I try to ping this one, we see that we have got this message where it says the destination host prohibited. But if I want to allow it, that's coming back to firewall configuration. Let's enable it again, and now we should be able to access the or should be able to ping the CentOS operating system one more time. Now another thing that I wanted to show you is just like that we had done in case of Ubuntu, that what about if we want to copy files from our host operating system to our guest operating system or the other way around. Now there is an option which is known as virtual box guest editions that you can access by coming on to this device option, which is over here on the top, and install guest editions. Now if I click on this one, it should give us the option that guest editions ISO image is being tried to run. Whether we want to run it or not, that's a different case. But before continuing with the run, I must tell you that to run these VBox editions on CentOS operating system, you need to have GCC or generic C compiler. It's just a program that you can install using the software option that I had shown you earlier. Then we also need to have G++. Then we need to have DKMS, Delta, Kite, Mega, and Sierra. And also we need to have kernel development. So for CentOS you need all these 4. For Ubuntu you just need 3: GCC, G++, and DKMS. Just wanted to tell you about this VirtualBox Guest Edition at the moment. If you cannot remember these names, or because they might sound a bit techy to you, just do not go for that at the moment. It's just that once you install Guest Editions, you get new features. One of the features is that is like once you copy something, like I'm copying a text from my host operating system, I can simply paste it into the guest operating system, or the other way around as well. At the moment I cannot have that functionality. If I do a copy in host operating system, I cannot paste that one over here. Likewise, once guest editions have been installed, we can have the feature of drag and drop. So I can simply drag and drop files from one operating system to the other, or from host to the guest operating system. Also, another feature is that in case you have installed Ubuntu as a guest operating system, and installing guest editions really enhances the performance of Ubuntu, and it seems like you are not running in a virtualized environment, rather you are running right into the bare metal installation, as we like to call it. But if you have not got guest editions, then how can you do the software copying? Well, one of the options was like use the FTP server. At the moment I have enabled the FTP server on my Ubuntu. So to access that, I can simply come onto places and or maybe come onto application. No, I need to come onto places, and then I can click on browse network. Yes, you can browse the network just like you can do in your Windows environment. If you are trying to access Windows based resources on your different computers, you can do the same in CentOS as well. So I've clicked this one, and if I have Windows environment, which I do not at the moment, and once you click on this one, you will have all the PCs that have their shared folders available. Now to get to the FTP, I can click on connect to server, and over here I can give the URL. I can type in FTP and then the IP address of my machine, which is 192.168.1.2, I believe. Let's just try to connect this one. I click on connect, and let's just hang in there for a while. Okay, so I click on registered users, and over here I give the username and the password of my FTP server. I type in the username and I type in the password, and I'm logged into the FTP server. From here I can copy the files like this one. If I want to copy it on the desktop, I can simply drag and drop. Let me just do it one more time. Okay, so paste option is not giving up. It's not a problem. Let me just remove this R. It's just because there is something wrong with the desktop environment at the moment, because we had tried to install guest edition, but I cancelled the process because the required packages were not available. So it's no problem. I can click on places, and whatever folder I want to copy my these files, FTP files, I can come over here and I can choose whatever file I want to. This is the FTP server. I can bring it over here, select on this one and bring it over here, and let's just try to replace it, and then we will have the file copied from our host operating system, or as a matter of fact any operating system with an FTP server running, and copy that into our guest operating system, which in this case is CentOS. So let's not go for the guest editions at the moment, because it requires a bit of understanding and I would not expect a new user to have that kind of understanding at the first place. You are better off using FTP, which is easy to set up. I had shown you how you can do that in Windows environment. It's pretty easy. Just download the software and run the service, make a username, give it a password, and access it using the method that I have just shown you. One last piece of thing that I want to show you is, just like in case of Ubuntu, if you have got your disk kind of full and you are not very sure that what folders are taking much space, then you can again come on to utilities, and from here you can use this wonderful facility which is disk usage analyzer. Once you click on this and you select any of the locations that you want to analyze, let's say I want to analyze the whole disk that we have created, which is the virtualized disk, that it should show us that what are the folders that are taking or consuming most of the disk space. So from here you can make a wise guess if you are seeing, unexpected, I would say unexpected the consumption of disk in, let's say, temp or in other folder that it should not normally be, then you can inspect those particular files by going into those particular folders. So what they say about CentOS operating system is kind of like set it and forget it. It's such a stable operating system. I'm sure that once you use it, you will love it. I would urge you to install it on your operating systems, whether it is in virtualized environment or on bare metal. Do use it, and I'm sure that once you get used to it, it would become just your second home. I hope these small videos, they have become and been informative for you, and I would really like to thank you for watching.